Well, again, appreciate the hearing, and as I indicated in my statement, there's a number of us that are not happy with the failure to really implement a number of the issues that were signed into law a number of years ago. Literally about a third, as we calculate, a third of some of those regulations. So I guess I have a question as we look to reauthorizing this bill, which, as you know, expires the end of September. Should we be providing more direction to PHMSA to prioritize the outstanding mandates, or should we allow PHMSA to finalize the regs required by the 2011 law before determining what if changes need to be made? What's your suggested course?
We do have significant progress that we've made on the mandates over and above the ones that we have completed, and we do appreciate your patience in completing those mandates. Every single one of them is critical and important for pipeline safety. Each one of those mandates are as important to PHMSA as they are to you, and we have a plan moving forward to complete them. We do think that during the reauthorization process, we'd like to sit down with the committee staff. We'd like to sit down with you, talk about specific ways that we can use reauthorization to help us expand pipeline safety, improve pipeline safety. But we do recognize that we have a lot of work to do, and we are very, very focused on it, and we have a plan to complete every one of these mandates.
So one of the easiest ones in my book to implement was the change that we did that a company had to report formally on a timely basis, and we changed that to say it had to be within an hour. We look at the Santa Barbara spill a couple weeks ago, and that spill, as I understand it, from talking to Lois Capps, went on for many, many hours. I mean, how is it not easy to say it's got to be done within 1 hour, and it, doesn't happen? Here we are 4 years later. I mean, that was one of the big issues that we had in the Kalamazoo River spill in Calhoun County back in 2010. A company, they did know that it was going on, but they didn't report it until even perhaps a couple days later. $1 billion in cleanup.
PHMSA agrees that timely notification is absolutely critical, because the sooner we begin response in the rare but unfortunate circumstance of a pipeline rupture. Earlier this month, we issued a proposed rule that will require operators to notify as soon as practicable, but not more than 1 hour after they've detected a release, to the National Response Center. So we're proud to have gotten that proposed rule issued. It was issued earlier this month.
But why did it take so long? I mean, that was the intent. I mean, that was what we discussed. I mean, it was in black and white. And 4 years, I mean, is OMB that slow? Do I need to go back to Sylvia Burwell when she was there to
I understand and I sense your frustration that it's taken us this long to have the proposed rule out, but I would like to point out that we've issued multiple safety advisories, and we have shared with the industry how critical it is for timely notification. As we execute the investigation into the incident at Santa Barbara and also in Illinois, we are absolutely going to be looking at timelines and notification as part of our corrective action order, and we do expect operators to be notifying the NRC as soon as possible so that they can begin that cleanup.
Okay, let me ask one last question in my remaining minute. In the current integrity management program for inspecting for oil and gas pipelines, is there a priority for increased inspections or shutoff valves on pipelines that are over 30 years old? So not new ones, but the ones that were laid more than 30 years ago, or more than a mile underwater. So I look at the difference between in the Straits of Mackinac, it's more than a mile. I look at the Chesapeake Bay. I'm not sure if there's pipelines there or not. I look at pipelines that are going out in the ocean. Is there any regulations that are pending or that you're reviewing that would look at existing pipelines of somewhat older nature in certainly environmentally sensitive area? And if not, should we be looking at those here as we look to reauthorize the bill?
I'm going to ask if I can respond to you on the record on that specific question on whether or not that's in the regs now or the regs that we're planning.
You think that's a good idea, that we do that?
I think that a risk-based approach looks at probability and consequence, and that we should be looking at everything that impacts the probability of a pipeline failure as well as the consequence. So proximity to water as well as age impact both likelihood and consequence. So those sound like intriguing ideas, but I would definitely like to talk to the technical experts before providing you with a specific.
I look forward to your response.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yield back.